Hey friends, welcome back to Irini's Corner. Today I'm gonna be sharing with you this lovely, super easy 2-row repeat pattern. This is one of the patterns or one of the designs that when I first started working on it, I was thinking of one thing and it ended up in a totally different place with this pattern. So let's get started with that. As I've mentioned, it's a 2-row repeat and we're gonna need 2 different colors. I'm not gonna be working with black because it will not show properly on camera. So I'm gonna be working with an off-white color, this one, and a light brown color. I'm using worsted yarn, so weight 4 together with a 5mm hook. So let's get started. I'm gonna start working with my off-white color, and we're gonna start with a slip knot and an even number of chains. I'm gonna chain 20 stitches for the purpose of this tutorial. Now we're ready to start row number 1. So we're gonna skip the first stitch, and then throughout the first row and the second row, I'm gonna be working a single crochet into each stitch. Okay, so at the end of the first row, I should have 19 stitches. I started with 20. I skipped the first stitch and then I worked the rest of the row, so I should have 19 stitches. Now I'm gonna chain 1, that's my turning chain, and then turn the work and work my way back with a single crochet into each stitch. Now at the end of the second row, I'm gonna need to switch colors. So in the last stitch, I have the 2 loops right here, and then I'm gonna finish my single crochet using color 2. So I'm gonna pull the loop and finish my stitch with the second color here, okay? And then I'm gonna chain 1, and now I'm ready to start row number 3. So row number 3 is the first row of the repeated pattern. So the repeated pattern is row 3 and 4. You can repeat them as many times as you want. So I'm gonna start in the first stitch by a single crochet, and then another single crochet into the next stitch. And now we are going to be working in the stitches 2 rows below. So that will be our first row, row number 1 right here. So this is where my second stitch is. I'm gonna go down 2 rows, so this is the first row and then the second row right here, and I'm gonna be working into this stitch underneath it. Okay, so we work this stitch right here on the 3rd row, and then we're gonna work in this stitch 2 rows below it. So I'm gonna go into that stitch and pull a loop by yarning over. I'm gonna pull a loop all the way up to my current row right here, and then now we're still working on row 1. So we worked into this stitch, skip the next stitch, and then in the following stitch I'm gonna insert my hook, and then I'm gonna pull a loop, but instead of working a yarn over, I'm gonna do a yarn under. So the hook is on top or over my yarn. So this is a yarn under, and then I'm gonna pull a loop all the way up to the current row this way. So now I have 3 loops on my hook. I'm gonna yarn over and pull through all 3. Okay, now there is one stitch here that is this stitch is replacing it, so we're not working into it. And then we're doing a single crochet into the next stitch, and we're gonna repeat these again. So this same stitch should be sitting on top of this stitch where we did the yarn under in. So now I'm gonna insert my hook into it, and I'll do a yarn over, pull a loop, and then skip one stitch and into the next, go in with the hook and do a yarn under, so the hook is over the yarn, and pull a loop, 3 loops on the hook, yarn over and pull through all 3. And we're gonna be doing the same thing over and over until we finish our stitches. Okay, so here is the last 2 stitches of row 3. So I'm gonna work a single crochet into each of these 2 stitches. I know by now you're saying that this row doesn't look like the picture or the pattern that you have seen at the beginning of this video, but bear with me, be patient, and you're gonna see how we make that pattern. Okay, so let's start row number 4 together by chaining 1, turning the work, and then for row 4 we're doing single crochet into each and every stitch all the way back to the other side. So at the end of row 4, I still have 1 more stitch to do right here. So I'm gonna insert my hook, pull a loop, and then I'm gonna switch back to the off-white colors. So I'm gonna finish the stitch with white. Okay, and now I'm ready to do a repeat of row 3 and 4 again. So I'm gonna chain 1, start my row with 2 single crochet, and now I'm gonna be working into the stitches of row 3, these stitches right there. So again, this is the second single crochet that I've just finished. I'm gonna locate the stitch 2 rows below it, which is this one, and I'm gonna insert my hook and yarn over and pull a loop, and then the next stitch will be, we're gonna skip this one, and the next stitch will be the single crochet right here. So I'm gonna insert my hook and make a yarn under and pull a loop, 3 loops on the hook. Now I'm gonna yarn over and pull through all 3. Okay, and into the next stitch do a single crochet, and we're gonna repeat it again. So finish your row and then work row number 6. So work your way back with a single crochet into each stitch, and then I'll meet you at the end of row 6. Okay, so now I finished row 6. This is what my work looks like. But if you flip your work over, you're gonna see a different pattern being formed at the back of your work, and this is the pattern for today. So what I've shown you at the beginning of the video, this was just the back of this pattern. And while I was working it, although this was what I have in mind, when I looked at the back of the work, I fell in love with this pattern, and I thought this by itself is a beautiful pattern to do. So if you keep repeating the 2 rows that I've shown you, rows 3 and 4, and you switch colors every 2 rows, this is what you get on one side, and this is what you get on the back side. So let me know in the comments below which side do you like more. Do you like side A, which is kind of the A letter being formed, or side B, the back side of the work? Okay, and that was it for today. I hope you've enjoyed this design. If you like it, please share it with your friends, and if you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing, and I'll see you next time. Take care and keep crocheting.